mistaken, you are reading for first time. Are you from engineering background or what?
Yes, ma'am, engineering.
So you're from engineering background, and this is the first time you have read sociology?
Ma'am, in the college also I have been reading.
You have been reading?
Yes.
All right. Okay. So, Acha, okay, let me just quickly. I want to put you into the correct information in with respect to your subject matter for sociology, because this is your optional. And
Yes.
one of the you can say that one of the factors by which panel is going to ask you questions in your interview, it can be from your optional, because optional is something in which, I mean, they are not going to see that how much depth information you have, because you already have cleared your mains. But the reality is that how you have got that information, how you have got that knowledge. Because in 3.5 months or 4 months, if you have learned these philosophers, so how do you have understanding of them, which is not going to come only from taking some coaching or from reading books. So I would suggest you revise your sociology, but so revise in this manner in which it's not going to become difficult for you to answer, because I don't want to demoralize you, but you have not answered any question of mine where I was asking in sociologically in direct manner. So approach has to be little direct. In one word, you can say. If I have asked you that how sociology orients you towards understanding society, you can say it gave me critical orientation. Very well, you articulated that it offers perspective. Very nice. But you can say that critical perspective in a scientific manner. That's what makes sociology, right? And
Definitely.
then about classical thinkers, I've already explained you in your in that one in that interview, in that last time whatsoever we had conversation with. So what I can suggest you that either you start doing and understanding, revising your sociology, but not in a bookish manner. For example, you should know what Karl Marx have said. Okay, if I'll ask you right now, so what do you think that Karl Marx have given his opinion on capitalism? What is his opinion on capitalism? Tell me.
Ma'am, that capitalism is a problem to the society because it undermines the situation of the workers in a very broad terms.
No, if it was a problem for Karl Marx, so why he had made a model socialism and then communism? Socialism and communism is based on capitalism order only. He did not have any problem with capitalism. In fact, he appreciated capitalism because he said that capitalism is bringing and is actually reaching human potential to its peak, because capitalism have solved the survival problem of human. That's why it explained, through historical materialism, evolutionary perspective he has used. Okay, he is also, all the philosophers are actually functional only, but it's, but they are trying to understand this problem or these issues in a different manner. So Karl Marx have not viewed capitalism as a problem. He said that capitalism has in fact solved the major problem of human survival. Now we have got a society from small scale industries, we are having large scale industries. It's mean that now few people can produce food for entire world. So now we do not have to worry about basic survival. We do not have to worry about food because there is large production. Now no one should die out of food. But what is happening? We are still under the poverty because of exploitative system. Capitalism is not a problem, but exploitation of workers by capitalism is problem. Profit making of capitalists thinking that they just have to make profits, it's a problem. This is what even Emile Durkheim is saying. That is why the concept of alienation and anomie is same. Where Emile Durkheim is talking about anomie, what he is saying that there is a division of labor, and in organic, in organic society, in organic solidarity, what is happening in organic solidarity, we are having, you can say that we are having a society in which we are still having collective consciousness. But here the reason is different. Here the reason is what? Because we are dependent on each other. I cannot survive because now we have a modern
Okay.
society. All right. So there is a separation of power. There is a separation of division of labor. I cannot do all the works. Whereas in mechanical solidarity, what was happening? We were coming together, but here, what was the one point? It was about common sense. It was a common, factor. So homogenization was a factor. So earlier in rural society, homogenization was the factor. We all were doing agricultural. We all had same concepts about life, customs, values, and integration was strong, right? Whereas when the transition happened in, you can say, towards this society, organic society or modern society, we become dependent, but it was because of our differentiation, right? So you need
Yes.
to understand that Karl Marx was never against capitalism. He said that human potential has received, it's only because of that. He said that every individual, every human should have this potential. And now one section can solve this problem. But the problem was greed. The problem was profit making. The problem was fetishism of commodity.
Okay.
Okay, at least you should, have good hold over this classical thinkers, because this classical thinker is
Mhm.
bringing framework and is bringing perspective to all other theories in sociology,
I will
right?
revise sociology. Yes, ma'am.
Sorry.
Ma'am, I will revise sociology.
No, but how
Broadly.
you are revising that matters, Arnav.
Okay.
How you are revising sociology, that matters. I would ask you that you can see my channel, Sociology Club. Okay, I would be giving some tips on for interview. I will try to make, because a lot of aspirants have come to me who have clear your names, that ma'am, please give us some tips that how we can quickly understand, because now there is not a time. You cannot, if you're going to plan that you're going to revise your notes and if you're going to study again, it's not going to help. You need to understand the basic thing. Okay, try to understand from a in a holistic manner.
Okay.
Okay, so what Talcott Parson is saying.
Ma'am, Talcott Parson talks about social system and how role performance in a social system. So, ma'am,
But
like,
what is the new, you can say, what is the fundamental shift Talcott Parson has brought in sociological theories?
ma'am, he's a
He
structural.
added, yeah, but the point, yeah, structural functionalism. So he blended Weber and Durkheim both,
Yes, ma'am.
right? So can you
Social
just
fact.
explain?
Ma'am, he took the fact from the social fact of concept that Emile Durkheim had evolved, and the concept of social action that Max Weber had evolved. And so he, utilizing that, he used structural functionalism to develop social system approach, in which the social actions constellate and they form the social system. And in that, ma'am, the role performance of an individual happens, and for that role performance, an individual faces the dilemma in which he has to decide among the pattern variables. And this way a social system is constructed, and later on the dynamic equilibrium that he talks about regarding the social change, that if one social system interacts with another, then there is
Hmm,
changes in its agile framework, that is
hmm,
adaptation, goal attainment, integration, and latency. So
hmm.
that of the system changes, and if it perfectly changes with the changing environment, then the system sustains, otherwise it breaks down.
Very good. And what about Robert Merton?
And R.K. Merton is also a functionalist, but he's called a neo-functionalist because he built up he denied the traditional functionalist fact that functional unity, universality, and indispensability were the features of classical functionalism. So he denied
Hmm,
each and every fact, and he introduced the concept of latent and manifest functions along with this dysfunctions. And also he made studies about the deviance part,
hmm.
and the reference group theory. So he built up upon the classical functionalism and
And what is
evolved.
this middle range theory? Middle range theory. What he spoke about middle range theory?
Ma'am, middle range theory, R.K. Merton is is understood as middle range theorist because he is not extremely inclined towards positivism, so everything towards objectivity, but not entirely towards the non-positivism, that is the non-objectivity. So he takes a mid path, and hence he's said as a middle range theorist.
Okay, so and if I ask you that what is the major difference between sociology and anthropology, how will you define that?
Ma'am, anthropology is more inclined towards the biological evolution of man as well as the society, and sociology is more of inclined towards society. Ma'am, anthropology studies society on a basic evolutional part, whereas sociology, as a discipline, it studies modern sociologies as well, societies as well.
But then all the functionalist theory who are talking about that society changes from simple to complex, they all are using evolutionary perspective only. Even Karl Marx is using evolutionary perspective. And this is how even Weber is also using that, that how the religion plays a significant role in making as abstract or as concrete institution like capitalism. It's evolutionary theory. I mean, see, you can say that anthropology, and it's not correct that anthropology studies biological evolution. We have a social cultural anthropology, right? Even if you'll see your UPSC syllabus of anthropology, paper 2 is all about Indian society and Indian evolution. You can say that anthropology is a study of human evolution in holistic manner, where they understand each and every aspects of human life. As Aristotle has defined that anthropology is a gossip of mankind. So they will try to know that how single cell originated from, how from single cell, that from simple organism, from one single cellular organism, how we have got multicellular organism, what made life. So they are going to start with geological time scale. What was the period during Mesozoic period, Archaic period, what is Holocene period. So, for example, they are also very much interested that how modern science plays a significant role in understanding human evolution, right? For example, Edwin Hubble and George Lemaitre. So these scientists, when they discovered, for example, Hubble had discovered this telescope, and from there we have this world has got two major understanding, that that our universe is not the only universe, or and then this universe is expanding. Then after a few years we got George Lemaitre, who gave us a theory about Big Bang, right? So anthropology is even studying in that. Then anthropology is studying fossil evidences too. So after George Lemaitre, when he gave the Big Bang theory, then we understood that everything had started from a single particle, and then this complexity came. So you can say that anthropology is interested in all aspects, because you might can get questions, because most of the aspirants are very confused between sociology and anthropology. And this even happened, most of the aspirants who take sociology and anthropology, because I teach both the subjects, they're always confused between these two optional. Either take sociology or either take anthropology, because it seems very very closely. In fact, they are considered as twin sisters. So
Yes.
anthropology is a holistic study of mankind, where they are trying to understand that how once biologically we evolved, we become from Australopithecus, we have become Homo, you can say, Homo habilis, from Homo habilis, Homo erectus, then how Neanderthal happened, then how Rhodesian men come, and then how Homo sapiens, modern man. So when we evolved biologically, right, so there are many things developed. So in our brain, there is a two important area which is responsible for the creation of language, Broca area and Wernicke area. And this language further help us to develop culture, right? So when did this evolution happen? So human Homo habilis is considered as intelligent men, right? Because they have used stone tools in order to survive, for hunting and gathering. And this is a technological changes which is happening all till today. This is what Karl Marx is trying to explain, when we were hunter and gatherer, and then agricultural society, and then the feudal society and all that. Whereas sociology, you can say, whereas sociology is also trying to understand human civilization, human perspective, but it emerged in 18th, 19th century, when there was a rapid changes started happening. World had never witnessed poverty before. World had never seen the migration from rural to urban. Society was not divided into this two shift, right? Which Emile Durkheim has said. Emile Durkheim was influenced by Ferdinand Tönnies, right?
Yeah.
Then this is a shift. So rural and urban dichotomy. And then what had happened during 18th, 19th century, political structure got collapsed. So very first time we have got something democracy, where the life or where the opinion of lower classes also got matter, right? Then we have got revolution in what had happened in 1789, what had happened in French Revolution. So there was a third estate which challenged and which scrap the estate class, right? So this was the first time. So there was a chaos. Social order got collapsed. Social
Okay.
order was started shaking, and this had been a problem since time immemorial. Okay, classical thinkers were talking about the social order. Even contemporary sociologists are also talking about social order. So we were optimistic that now science and our critical understanding will bring prosperity, stability, but this did not happen. Talcott Parson is one such philosopher who said that because he was American sociologist and he was writing after witnessing so much of war and all, right? So he wanted to bring something new, right? So you need to understand that how Talcott Parson was, in fact, when he joined a renowned university, how he was being criticized by other sociologists, that what type of theory is talking about, how Talcott Parson got influenced by Weber's wife, and how he had influence, because he had did his PhD in there. Then Robert Merton you should read, right? So
Yes.
this is kind of explanation, Arnav, I would tell you that you need to understand, because I really pray that you get through this, right? But then how if in case questions will come to you like that, because this is your optional. So when you are going to give vague answers, and this is, I have been mentoring. It's been professionally 3 years where I have seen that aspirants from anthropology or sociology, when they give answers, they give very vague answer, right? Because and then expectation will be that you must have crispy understanding. Okay.
Okay.
So for that, I will just give you 5 steps for that.
Okay.
First of all, try to please write down.
Yes, I'm writing down.
First of all, try to understand that what is the subject matter of sociology.
Okay.
Okay, so subject matter of sociology is to understand, as Auguste Comte said, that we studied social static and social dynamics. So, for example, how society is being maintained, their social order, and if once a social order is maintained, why it gets changed.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then you need to see something like that, and then try to understand your founding fathers of sociology, right? And then try to understand neo-Marxists, new functionalists, their perspective. All right.
Okay.
What is new information? What is the scientific information which sociology giving, and it was why it was which philosophy was not able to give, what history was not able to give, why politics could not give, because we are talking about society and every this element happens there. Okay, so you can go through this, and you can always contact RPR if you want further explanation. If you get if you think that no ma'am thoda aur mujhe kuch understanding chahiye and all that, you can always contact us. Otherwise, I would say that personality wise you're very 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 good, excellent, I would say. You may.
Sorry to interject, ma'am. What, ma'am? Like other panelists were also there. My connection was cut. They were saying
No,
something.
now they are going to give you feedback. So I have given you feedback on this subject matter. Now
Okay,
you
so
have
they will
to
be joining.
No, Abhi, they are busy with other
Okay.
other candidate, because your connection got
Yes, ma'am.
finished. No,
It was a problem.
so
Yes, ma'am.
Zara will let you know that how other panelist is going to give. Okay, I'm giving you my feedback.
Okay,
I
all
think
right.
I feel that you have a perfect gesture, right? And you give your answers, and wheresoever you have got stuck, you have very politely, you have very humbly, you have said that I don't know this, and with very pleasant smile you have conveyed that. So that is a very positive approach, and I could not find any sign of nervousness, right? So that was the only thing. The only thing which I was thinking that is on the subject matter of sociology only, right?
Okay.
Otherwise, you have very well articulated caste and varna, and you have very well explained what Vajpayee sir had asked you. So in that ways, you got a good information, right? And the rest of detailed analysis will be given to you by our other panelists. Okay, Arnav? So if you
They
have
will be
any question,
joining.
you can ask me. Abhi to I
They,
don't know. They are busy with other one. They will
okay.
join you in. They will join you. Just
Okay.
hold for a
So,
second. Let me
okay.
just give me a moment.
Okay.
So I will be just going to tell you that now whether you other panelists are joining or you have to wait. Just give me a moment.
Sure,
Okay, I'm
ma'am.
asking Zara.
Sure.
So Arnav, other panelists are joining. They will give you feedback. So
Okay.
you have any question right now with anything?
Yes, ma'am.
Sociology, anthropology, whatsoever
Ma'am,
it is.
in the last attempt of sociology, I got 279 total.
You got this is your second attempt for your
Ma'am, I am already selected in civil services, and I am in DANIP service, and
Acha, you're in service. Oh,
yes, ma'am. I am
that's
giving
nice.
for improvement this year, and
Okay,
ma'am,
so last year
ma'am,
how
you were
much you
asking,
got in sociology?
ma'am, 279.
79.
Yes, ma'am. But this time I tried to improve further. I tried to touch
I
around
think in
300.
paper two,
That's what. In paper two, ma'am, last year I had defaulted because in paper I was
yes.
having around 163. Yes,
Oh
163.
no,
And in
very
paper
less.
two, I had, ma'am, in paper one, I had 163, and paper two, I was having 116, I think. So paper
So
two,
even
I
in
have
paper one, you could have get more marks because your understanding is not that bad. Anyway, I think this time you might get good marks.
yes, ma'am. This
So what
time
you
I
have
have
done
tried.
for value addition? What you have done for value addition?
Ma'am, the only thing, the problematic part in paper two that I analyzed was that I wrote a lot of GS and social perspective because it was very GS oriented paper, and I
Yes,
was,
yes,
because that was my first mains, so I was not
yeah,
very accustomed to write sociology in general studies. But this time I have inculcated a lot of sociological perspective.
very good.
So
And
I thought that,
you need to improve sociological vocabulary because if you are done
yes,
with sociological vocabulary, you will do wonders in paper two. And paper two is not about quoting thinkers, right? So I can always give you more analysis. I'll ask Zara. She will make you connected me with you. Okay. Now other panelists are joining and they will give
sure,
you their feedback.
sure, ma'am,
Okay
sure.
or not?
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am.
All right.